I thought of an insight related to Buckminster Fuller's idea of synergy, indirectly at least. And it's about the quote that I mentioned about how something about how we need some spontaneous social behaviors in order to save the planet. And I think mania is one of those spontaneous social behaviors, or it's an energy that produces spontaneous social behavior. And it does it in a way that's not contrived. It's sort of a moment-to-moment thing. And a person is walking around attempting to basically get people to play with them in a way. And this play could be the spontaneous social behavior that we need. But what happens is, after a certain period of time, that energy fizzles out, either because it's too powerful or because a person runs into too many buzzkills. And at first, we're able to ignore the buzzkills and sort of just keep going, or insert our positive projections of their experience of the other person's interpretation of it to sort of uplift it to the next level. Meaning, if I'm in mania, I might do something and somebody responds in a way that could be good and could be bad, but since I'm in such a positive state, I interpret their response in the positive way, and that keeps me going. Even though inside their head they might have been kind of wondering what the heck that was all about. And even that can be seen as a positive thing, creating some cognitive dissonance or a pattern interrupt in people's daily monotonous life. And I was thinking too that in mania, a person is generally, at least at some point, very social. And even if the person's not typically programmed to be very social, they end up very social in mania. And the socialness is trying to create more socialness or connections or bonding oxytocin experiences. And then what happens is, after that certain period of time where it fizzles out, because it's not participated with, the person really has to be participated with and uplifted. I don't think they have to, but it's trying to maybe create little sparks in all the people interacting with the manic person. And then eventually those sparks are the dissipation of the energy. It gets diffused out to the populace. Maybe that's what happens. It's like all the energy is contained in that one person, and they go around spreading it and spreading it and spreading it until they've drained their battery. And then what happens is, a person that's been relating in mania in all those mostly positive ways, at least for a good period of time, ends up draining one's battery and then going into mania or psychosis or depression. And then a person might have a team of, say, between 1 and 20 people supporting them through the depression. Yet it's like, well, when I was in mania, why didn't I have 20 people around me uplifting me and playing with me and having fun with me all the time? Like a solid, good, constant team. And then it happens instead in the bad states, the crisis, the fallout, the depression, the psychosis. And then we have this big team of professionals and family and friends, if they stay around, to help us out. Why aren't there people helping us out when we're up here? Or maybe they are, and maybe people that we meet randomly as strangers are helping us out. And it's almost like that energy is better dissipated in the strangers. But then as soon as we go back to our family, they have disbelief about how wonderful the world is. It's not even disbelief. It can be seen as disbelief about how wonderful the individual person is, and the family doesn't see it that way because the family knows the person as a certain person, and they're projecting their own crap onto this empty space of energy and sharing. And that is a buzzkill for sure. if a person was able to just go off and never come back, maybe they would stay in that high energy state. But it's almost like the habit, which is the family, the habitat and the habits of the person are like a funnel that is eventually going to swallow the person up, in terms of the family being, well, why aren't you doing what you normally do? Why aren't you how you usually are? So in order to be that way, or in order to sort of return to the normal state, a person has to go through psychosis and depression and all these sort of disease states that make it so the family can capture the person in a way and keep them how they were or worse off. And it's almost because people don't know how to uplift people. In general, they don't. If somebody's doing well, a lot of times we feel jealous just in daily normal life without all this extra extraordinary and extreme state stuff going on. So I feel in talking about this that the manic energy isn't necessarily wasted, it's just dissipated. And imagine if a person in mania was able to collect miraculously a team of several people that really saw what the person saw and was uplifting what the person was saying. They might be able to stay in that state because they'd have a mirror to bounce these insights off of and stay there. And I can just think, for example, maybe in the case of celebrities, this isn't mania, but they're thinking, wow, I'm so great, I'm so talented, I'm so amazing, and look at me play my music or do my acting or something. And somebody comes along and they're like, yeah, you are. I want to help you by doing your bookkeeping. Or, yeah, you are. I want to help you by doing your marketing. And this isn't necessarily people saying it. It could be a company saying, yeah, you are talented. We want to, work with you, or take most of the money that you earn, so then we'll do all the other stuff and you just be the musician. There's stuff in place for that. There's record labels for musicians, which is somewhat changing, obviously, with the technology and stuff. But it's almost like a person needs a record label for mania, because they can't do a lot of different things, but what they can do is pretty amazing.